Somehow, I never saw Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I didn't even play a Tomb Raider game until the reboot in 2013, and I wasn't really blown away. So I knew watching this movie was going to be different. I went in without any nostalgia, without any predilections that were formed in my impressionable youth. I was unbiased, judging the movie on its merit alone, and knowing full well, this is the worst way to watch a video game movie. Bugger! The story follows Lara Croft as she travels across the world to recover artifacts from dangerous tombs. During a planetary alignment that occurs once every 5,000 years, these artifacts can be combined to give the bearer the ability to control time. Naturally, a power this strong is sought after by the Illuminati and a rival Tomb Raider that Lara must defeat. That's a simple explanation of the plot, but there's really no need to go into detail. The plot exists as an excuse for Lara to travel to exotic places, solve ancient puzzles, and fight archaic statues that crumble at the slightest touch. Like most video game movies, the story leaves a lot to be desired. But hey, at least Lara has a character arc, which is more than I can say about Max Payne. The loss of her father at a young age has left her scarred, hence the appeal of turning back time with this triangle artifact. During the climax, she speaks to her father in a crossing of time and realizes she needs to move on with her life. But it's okay because he'll always be there for her, etc., etc. You know, the acceptance of death theme you see in a lot of movies. It's a nice touch and gives the movie some emotional gravity. If the movie brought this out a little more, the countless action scenes might have had a little more impact. Again, like most video game movies, Tomb Raider leans heavily on expensive special effects and bombastic action sequences. These are very impressive, by the way, especially the size and production quality of the sets. The end of the movie takes place in an enormous cave with a giant clockwork universe. It's magnificently constructed and looks like a ride at Disneyland. That must have cost a fortune to build. I also liked Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft. She fits the role perfectly, resembling the video game character, and I forgot how good of an action star she was. Oh, and that guy playing Lara Croft's father? That's Jon Voight, Angelina Jolie's dad in real life. Also, Daniel Craig, 5 years before he became James Bond, he's in this movie as Alex West, Lara's ex-partner and Tomb Raider for hire. It's kind of funny that Jolie is doing a British accent and Craig is doing an American accent, but they pull it off.
From you, that's funny. It's not like you ever really own them or anything.
After all, as you once said so memorably, it's all just a business, right? So go do business. Go.
The big budget set pieces and slick gunfights are almost enough to carry the movie across the 101-minute runtime without it feeling too sluggish. But there's plenty of problems dragging it down. The characters are all one-dimensional stereotypes, even Lara to a lesser extent. Anytime the subject of her father is brought up, we see her vulnerable. Vulnerability is good because it helps the audience relate to the character. But most of the movie, she's walking around too cool for school with dark sunglasses and her chin up, or she's prancing around a war zone completely unscathed and confident in her ability to win. She's invincible during action scenes, so there's very little tension, and she's cocky in most of the other scenes, so there's very little empathy. To sum it up, she's about as deep as a video game character. Tomb Raider was very expensive and very profitable, making $275 million on a budget of $115 million. I personally didn't like it as much as other video game movies, but it works well as a fast-paced action flick, and I've enjoyed worse movies.